Thank you for listening to the 39th Street Church of Christ Daily Devotional. The devotional today is Hitchhikers May Be Escaping Inmates by Jack Williams. The other day I was traveling to and from Oklahoma, and I was passing through one part of the state, and there was this sign on the side that says, Hitchhikers may be escaping inmates. Well, I decided then I'm not going to pick up a hitchhiker. Why? Well, I don't want to associate, I don't want to have that close communication with somebody who's dangerous. I've sadly kind of pulled that stunt before. But the reality is, so many times we go through life and in seeking maybe to help others or maybe trying to find a companion, we fail to look at them and heed the danger, the warning signs that are there. The Apostle Paul in 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter, dealt with those individuals who had succumbed to the foolishness, that there wasn't a resurrection. And he points out, if in this life only we have hope in Christ Jesus, we're of all men most pitiable. I mean, that's a horrific thing to think that this is it. But he gives the source of that danger in 1 Corinthians 15:33. He says evil communications, the American Standard says companionships corrupt. You see, they had succumbed to companions. They'd picked up a hitchhiker that was involved in the worldly things, that was away from God. And they heeded the advice, the teachings that were there. Each one of us, we make decisions on who we're going to be with, whether it be at work, at school, just in society, and sometimes even in family. We need to look and realize we can't avoid all contact with people, but we can decide who it is we're going to have confidence in, who it is that we're going to be a companion with, who we're going to pick up. In other words, who's going to be the hitchhiker we bring in. You better be sure who it is and what they're doing, what they're teaching. Prove all things, hold fast to that which is good, and Acts 17 and verse 11 applies to everything. And maybe it's the character of those that we choose to be around, and we need to be careful in doing that. In the book of Romans, the first chapter, we're given a litany of sins there. You read those things, and it sounds horrible, and then you think, wait a minute, that's the world we live in today. But in the last verse of that chapter, he tells us that those who do such things, they know they're worthy of death. In other words, they know it's wrong. But they not only do them, but they have comfort, they enjoy, they like to have others do the same things with them. Misery loves company, sin loves company. We've talked about that before. And the reality is, we make the choice whether we're going to let them in the car with us, whether we're going to pick them up, whether we're going to take that hitchhiker. Now, we need to strive, Galatians 6 and verse 10, to do good unto all men, especially those of the household of faith. But in the first verse of that chapter, we find that as you correct another, here's a principle. You consider yourself, lest also be tempted. You see, I'm not going to sacrifice myself just so I can go along and get along with others around me. I'm going to choose to do right. The book of Proverbs, the 25th chapter, also gives a danger of having those wrong companions. In verse 19, he says that confidence in an unfaithful man in time of trouble is like a broken tooth and a foot out of joint. Now you think about that. How are you going to live if you can't eat? How are you going to do anything if you can't walk? You see, that's what an unfaithful person does to our lives. It hinders us in everything that we desire to do. It hinders us in our survival. Let's decide today we're going to watch out. Do good to people. Seek to have companions who will encourage and strengthen. Watch out for those hitchhikers. Don't pick up someone who is an escaping inmate, who is involved in the things of the world, seeking their own will and not yours. Make sure that we choose godly companions. Thank you for listening. Have a good day. Watch the Hitchhikers. Thank you for taking the time to watch this short devotional. We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you'll be notified of other devotionals that will be forthcoming. Also, we encourage you to join us online live as we stream our services at each service time. More information can be found on our website at the link below. Thank you.